चलिए। So, hi, Ojas, sir. Uh, Thank you so much for joining in. And I'm really excited to know
So,
your journey as a founder in Budding Mariners. And to introduce Ojas, sir, I would like to tell that Ojas, sir himself was a cadet in a merchant navy organization. And leaving that journey behind, Ojas, sir is now a full-time entrepreneur. And he himself has not completed any formal degree in business management, but his knack towards business development and multiple areas of business has led to the growth of this organization so beautifully. Thank you so much for joining in today.
thank you, Madhav, for that lovely introduction. Do let
Yes.
me know how to
So,
proceed.
beginning with your journey itself, Ojas sir, why didn't you keep doing sailing, and what motivated you really to start this entrepreneurial journey? Firstly, with Budding Mariners.
Just call me Ojas. Please don't call me sir. I'm
Okay,
almost your age only.
sure.
Okay, starting with I did quit sailing because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. And if you are doing something, if even if you are doing a job somewhere and if you are not doing it with full heart, I don't think it's worth it to even take the salary. So
Okay.
that was my mentality, and I
Hmm.
wanted to go all in. So that's
Okay.
why I thought I had a particular limit set in that once I started to earn this amount, and that brings a financial security to me and my family, that was the moment that I decided, okay, let's take the plunge and
Oh,
yeah, do it full
really
time.
insightful. And back then, I assume that you were pretty young when you finally decided to leave the merchant navy sailing, right?
Yeah, I was around 21. Yeah, I was 21 when I
Per-
decided to leave.
Perfect. Really courageous of you, because as we all know, merchant navy itself is a very high-paying job, and it
Great,
comes with a
correct.
lot of security. But still, starting your own entrepreneurial journey really motivating. Now, my second question goes directly into the industry you are catering to. I firmly believe that budding mariners is in edtech industry and it's solving the problem of maritime preparation, maritime exam preparation. So why did you
Great.
specifically choose this industry, edtech industry specifically in India, which is facing a lot of backlash due to heavy losses by major players?
Firstly, the organization was very unstructured, and I had been part of lot of edtech institutes while I was preparing for other exams like JEE, NEET. And I
Okay.
wanted when I started preparing for Merchant Navy, there was nothing, absolutely nothing on YouTube or Instagram. There was nothing structured. So I
Hmm.
wanted to bring a system where I could bring some structure, bring some knowledge, and avoid people from falling into frauds and traps which are in this field, which are
Okay.
unknown to people.
Okay. Understood. And there's one more aspect to my question, specifically, Ojas, that didn't you have the fear that stepping into edtech and solving this problem of gap would eventually could also lead to bleeding losses in the organization? Or you were confident from day one that you will definitely somehow sustain this business in this era of
That
ambiguity?
That's the best part. I'm a Sindhi by nature, and I'm a Sindhi also. So whenever I start any business, I don't make any kharcha. As to say, I don't do
Okay.
expenses. I do most things on my own, and whatever. Like if you want to upload a video, when we started with 0 rupees. So we created all the PDFs on our own. We learned the skill of editing. Me and my partner Shanawaz, we both learned how to make notes properly on docs. We learned how to make the things efficient for people. We learned everything which is required. We learned sales, we learned marketing, we learned operations, so that we don't have to bring people in to do the work that we need to do, so that we could
Okay.
avoid expense, not fall into the trap. I had barely 1200 rupees when I wanted to start my business. Even the logo we made was from Canva. So we didn't do any expense. We told our friends to share this video, and just we just started. That's it.
A sheer learning by doing attitude. Really, really motivating.
Yeah.
Great. My next question basically focuses on your vision and the vision of budding mariners and the strategic gap which exists in the industry. So, what strategic gap in India's maritime education and cadet preparation ecosystem actually motivated you, and how do you differentiate it from existing traditional maritime coaching institutes?
Well, if you talk about 4 years ago, there were a lot of gaps, extreme lot of gaps. But talking about now, I think there is flood of coachings, there is flood of information. But now the problem is which is the right information,
Yes.
which is exactly the right information to find. There are a lot of good sources to find the right information, but only thing you can do as a young aspirant is to trust the people who have done selections or who have done some achievements. So that's why what we do is whenever anybody who opens an Instagram or who opens a YouTube, the first thing that is pinned on our YouTube is selections or selection into the companies or the ranks that people get, because then they can even trust the information that we are providing, because there were hundreds of channels,
Hmm.
literally there are hundreds of channels. The kid who goes into a maritime institute now starts a channel, which is
Hmm.
good. They all want to be entrepreneurs, but the most basic fundamental thing that they don't have is the will to continue when it doesn't work,
Okay.
because 99% of mostly they are our students only. They
Understood.
start once they go to college, they see us, they start, but they drop it.
Hmm.
Problem is you need to continue it for at least 365 days to
Okay.
make a decision that firstly you thought of opening a business. You must have thought something, right? ऐसे
Yes.
ही तो you wouldn't have started a business. If you would have thought so much, then why did you drop it after 30 days or 60 days or 80 days when it doesn't perform?
Hmm.
You need to be at it. Even at 364th day, if the video is going across 50 views only,
Hmm.
effort should be 101%.
Understood.
Because तभी वो work करेगा.
Okay.
After opening B, we opened Iconic.
Hmm.
Iconic in 10 months, we were at 15 views average per video.
Hmm.
Doesn't mean we
Yes.
kept going, we kept going, we changed our strategies. But that doesn't mean we were putting bad content or shit content, as to say. We need to produce good content also. You need to have a reality check also as to what you are posting or what you are doing
Hmm.
diligently. But you need to have a thing in your heart that whatever you're doing at it in India's best. If I'm talking about edtech or I'm talking about any sector where people are coming from all over India, one thing you need to keep in mind is whenever you are opening a business, if your product is all over India, it should be the best in India.
Hmm.
If your course is about chiropractic or if
Hmm.
your course is about kites,
Hmm.
if it is about selling kites or making kites, it should be the best. If you are
Okay.
talking about how to make a pencil, your video has to be the best video on internet on how to make a pencil. Behind every video, that is the type of mentality that at budding we go through. If we
Yes.
want to talk about UCET as an exam,
Hmm.
how to describe it fully and make the best possible content which is possible in India, across India. We scroll YouTube, we
Hmm.
see tens and hundreds of videos, then we take the best gist out of it, we take our experience, then we proofread our material, then we put out that content. And that's how we make sure this is India's best. And imagine for 10 months, still it gets only 15 views.
Hmm.
That's when you don't have to give up because you know at your heart it is good.
Yes.
Then you don't, you just proceed, proceed, proceed. It is a I was counting day before yesterday of how many things that we have opened and we are at 11 right now.
Okay.
And we have 10 YouTube channels right now. All of them have worked within this 365-day theory.
Great.
One video hits 1000 views. And that's where it shows you कि okay, effort हो गया, चल
Nice.
गया. तो वो
Yes.
चीज़ है.
So to summarize your key outcomes, perseverance is the key, the keep going
100%.
attitude, and
Yep.
be the best at what you are doing and go full out.
Yep, yep, yep.
Great, great. Again, great insights, Ojas. Thank you so much. And coming back to budding mariners and the scale of budding mariners right now, how would you currently classify budding mariners as early growth in an expansion mode or scaling? And what strategic priorities define whatever stage you think budding mariners is in?
I think this is our fifth year. At in our initial first year, we had 35 students. In the second year, we had around 500 students. In the
Hmm.
third year, we had 1,000. In our fourth year, we had around 3,000 students. This is our fifth year. We have approx 3,500 students only. So you see, we have almost hit a plateau now.
Okay.
So we are almost at a stage where we are hitting a plateau because the industry is not going, the TAM is not that big.
Okay.
Right. So we are almost at a plateau stage. That is why the option of diversifying, we have already opened Budding Mariners offline. That is
Okay.
why we have gone full into publishing, where we are sending out materials and we are grossly investing in it also. We have opened Iconic and we have opened other revenue streams also.
Great. My next question was about the same only, Ojas. So, does Budding Mariners primarily operate in a B2C students cadet model, B2B? Are you in any collaboration with shipping companies, training partners, or a hybrid model? And how does each segment contribute to the strategic growth you were talking about?
It's a little different that way because there are two revenue streams we work by. We are directly adhering to customers, D2C, directly to customers, we are selling our courses. But there is also a B2B connection because we are having more than 15 MOUs with colleges
Okay,
where
great.
we are sending them cadets who are very highly qualified
Hmm,
for merchant if they're doing their BSc course or BTech course. So we have a strategic partnership with different colleges all over India. You name the top 15 colleges we have with all of them. So that's how
great,
it goes.
great. Really appreciate it. And now the next question, basically, it's a very short question, I would say, that in EdTech, I feel ensuring scalability while maintaining training quality is very difficult. And as you said that you are hitting a plateau right now, so you are at a considerable scale. How are you
Yeah.
ensuring training quality in an offline as well as online setting of your institute?
Okay, so main thing is the hierarchy should not be very long. And if it is long, then you need to make sure that it reaches to the end stage. So suppose if I'm speaking or making a proper training, so the end person who is at the fourth stage, suppose if I am the chairman and I'm training, I'm telling something to my COO, he's telling something to his director, then he's telling something to his operations head, then he's telling something to his operations associate.
Hmm.
That is five levels of hierarchy. One
Yeah.
instruction which gets passed through five levels. So only thing which I make sure is never to keep anything on calls. It
Okay.
sounds stupid and it sounds very small thing कि इतना
Hmm.
छोटी चीज क्यों बता रहे. But honestly, the only thing is whenever I want to give any instruction to my team, even if I am doing it in a meeting, I make sure that they send me minutes of the meet. I make sure that they are making notes and I'm checking it after the meet so that I know that if they're doing a good job or if they have noted it properly or not. Because I know, because at the end, an operations associate who is five levels down won't have the same vision of what I would have had if I'm sending a message across. So that is how I make sure that the message gets passed beautifully and nicely.
Fair point, fair point. So, as maintaining hierarchy, one gap that you wish to always fulfill is communication should not be compromised in any manner, right? Great, great insight again. And we were talking about Iconic in between. So,
Right.
I personally know that Budding has now pivoted into like three, four organizations collectively. And let me first summarize. So, budding group of companies is now catering not only to merchant navy cadets, aspiring cadets, but also to doctor who are aspiring to become doctors. So, budding medicos is also there, and iconic is also there. So, what strategic mindset did you come into while targeting an industry that you have not been a part of primarily? And how does this strategic decision to pivot actually got implemented?
It's not actually a pivot because I would say pivot is something if you are doing it within a same organization.
Yes.
But we have created a new
Diversification.
organization. Yeah, diversification, I would say.
Yes.
Diversification is a perfect word because see, in BM also we have diversified into four different things. We
Yes.
have now opened English also, which is only for states of Tamil Nadu and Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and it works very differently.
Mm-hmm.
We have opened Iconic in which it works for NEET PG aspirants,
Yes.
right? So NEET PG who have already completed MBBS. My brother, who is a doctor, who is ongoing with his PG right now, he
Mm-hmm.
completed his MBBS from a
Okay.
private medical college.
Okay.
And then my dad told, it's a personal story. So my dad told him, I don't have money anymore to give you for a government medical college, for a private college. So study hard, buck up, or you will stay in MBBS forever. So
Mm-hmm.
what did he do? He stayed a dropper for 1 year. He prepared very hard. He then he's now doing from a government medical college's PG. So he
Okay.
secured a very good rank. So he's one of the very few people who has done this journey from a private medical college to a government medical college, which is a tough journey to begin with.
Okay.
Wanted to bridge that gap. Ki even a weak aspirant can aim for a government seat.
Okay.
So that is what we wanted to create because I was very intrigued by this platform.
Mm.
And what most people in NEET PG are doing right now is sending notes, giving
Mm.
lectures. But what is the most important thing actually which anyone needs? Accountability.
Okay.
They can afford to pay, but they just need accountability. They need
Mm.
someone who can look over their shoulders and say कि तू कर लेगा, तुझे आज ये करना है, तुझे कल ये करना है.
Okay.
If anyone is that type of a person, क्योंकि टॉपर तो कर लेते हैं देखो नोट्स से,
Mm-hmm.
but can a student do it? And
Okay.
in India, education is booming and everyone wants to go for huge government colleges and big government colleges. They want to go to GMC Nagpur, they want to aim for AIMS,
Mm-hmm.
but they need to study, not just study hard, they need to study smart.
Yes.
That is where a platform like Iconic comes in very handy, where we are providing accountability partners who
Okay.
are doing this one-to-one preparation with each student
Understood.
for them. Why you would be asking and you would be thinking why we are not doing this in Merchant Navy or any other platform? They can't afford it. A
Okay.
doctor who has completed his MBBS is earning approx 12 LPA or 9 LPA. They can actually afford to pay, 20,000 for a year to get acquainted with the service. So that is the thing. So that is why we have done this model only with Iconic and not any other business.
Great. Great. Great model, Ojas. And a few key takeaways that I would want to repeat again is that you have fairly understood the market. Not fairly, but deeply understood the market. That exactly the gap. The gap is in strategic planning while attempting the exam. So with such humongous course and the
Yeah,
syllabus or the NEET PG exam, what you are offering to the students is a very strategic plan that lands them the government seat. So studying
yeah,
everything is a task, but you are solving what and when to study and how to study. Great,
right,
great,
right.
great accomplishment and a great gap, I must say, that you have identified. And my next question is very similar to what you have answered. So, in all those organizations that you have mentioned right now, and all the pivots and diversification, most sustainable competitive advantage that defines your all these organizations, faculty, pedagogy, outcomes, industry connect, or brand trust, what is that most sustainable competitive advantage you think that you are building right now?
Uh, Workforce and training, I feel. We have an advantage. We have very good people here. And we
Okay.
train them very well.
Okay.
Because they are trained very well. So they are excellent at operations.
Mm-hmm.
They are excellent at marketing. And they are beyond excellent at sales.
Got
So,
it. Great.
yeah.
So, you are investing in people. People management is something that's taking the organization ahead. Great. Next question, Ojas, is in such uncertain and ambiguous times. So basically, in MBA, we study that external environment does a lot of to your company, then internal. So what are the biggest strategic challenges you are facing currently in terms of regulatory uncertainty, student trust, outcomes of result, scalability, or competition? And how are you addressing them?
Actually, I feel as long as people are interested to go in the field
Mm-hmm.
and we are the best product and we are good at sales, nothing can beat us. Only
Yes.
three factors.
Okay.
I feel there are only three factors if nothing happens to merchant navy as a field,
Mm-hmm.
right? एक क्राइसिस आ जाता है, फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस आ जाता है, एंड seafarers get abolished from their job. That is a different factor altogether. That people are no more interested to go into merchant navy, or people are no more interested to become doctors. But that is impossible, right? People
Yes.
have to become doctors.
Yes.
Who will treat them? And an apocalypse is not happening anytime soon, right?
Yes.
So that's how it goes. And as long as we are the best,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's gonna be anything. I feel we are not very, we don't think about it a lot. We are very good on our R&D processes,
Okay.
and that's what we are 5 steps ahead, and people
Great.
keep chasing.
Great. Great, Ojas. And I see a lot of confidence in you when it comes to the quality of your product. And that's really appreciable because the numbers itself speak a lot. Great. Now, while as you mentioned R&D, and I believe that in any business building process, resources are very essential to be utilized in a very efficient manner. So, in your early stages, what key resource constraints you think were there in terms of capital, infrastructure, faculty, and tech? Because primarily in all these three platforms, you have heavily focused and developed tech also. So, how did you overcome these challenges? Because as you told me in the early question that you would have very little capital to start with, and how frugal your strategic choices were.
So there were 3 to 4 times when I had the option to take funding,
Hmm.
but I never wanted to dilute. And I didn't want to dilute. I never wanted to work and to be controlled by a separate entity. So
Okay.
I always wanted to run through my things only and how I wanted to be run. So there were issues. You don't have money to open an offline academy. How do you don't have, you have money sparingly. So you can only use for some things.
Yes.
So there are a lot of things also. You need a coder. Sometimes you need a coder to build an app. So what do? You figure out who has already done it.
Okay.
And I know this solution might not sound good, but you can white label things also.
Great.
Now you can white label an app, right?
Yes.
If you don't know how to run an app, you don't know how to do things. You can see who has already done it, and you
Mm-hmm.
can borrow from them. You can rent from. One thing I have learned is I don't own things. I rent them. Like the building that we have opened an offline academies, we rented that building. So
Okay.
that we rented a small part of it, then we rented a little bigger part of it, then we rented the full building.
Yes.
As we had the confidence, okay, this will work, okay, this will work, okay, this will work. And then you do a proper agreement, okay, you do an agreement for 2 years. But what I think your actual question was, ki you need a resource, like you need someone who is very smart, who is very skilled. How do you get that type of a person who can give you those inputs?
Great.
For me, till now, since last 5 years, everyone gives me advice. तेरे को एक आईआईटीएन लाना पड़ेगा या तेरे को एक आईआईएम का बंदा लाना पड़ेगा, वही तेरा सिस्टम ठीक कर पाएगा. People give me an inputs like this, but for me, a thing which I've always learned is मैं कर लूंगा खुद से. I learn those skills. When I needed a, when I didn't knew how to file an income tax return, I learned it.
Great.
I learned how to file a GST return because CAs were asking me 1 lakh for a year.
Yes.
कि you have a GST, you need to pay, because of course you have to pay taxes, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how to file a GST return, so you learn it. You go on YouTube, you learn the goddamn skill, right?
Understood.
When it was first or second year, Sheets, Google Sheets is such a big skill that you need to have to open any business. So I learned basic to intermediate to advanced.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to create a content calendar. I
Great.
learned how to create a sales script. I learned how to teach someone how to create a sales module. I learned how to make a marketing calendar. I learned all those skills so that I can teach someone. I never, I know a lot of people say keep you can hire very high paying smart people who can bring in to do their job. I understand, but you can also be that person
Yes.
and learn those skills yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can teach the person. because the person who you will teach will become loyal to you,
Yes.
and they will respect you, and they will work with you forever. So that is the type of people we have, and that is why we are ruling here also, because the people who are at number two, number three, they spend a lot of money. Their EBITDA is not that great because they do all their expenses in bringing people who are extremely smart, but they are not smart themselves.
Understood.
Up see, you know how to make a sheet, right? You
Yes.
know how to pivot table, or you know how to make app script. Do you know,
Yes.
Madhav?
Yes.
App script आता है?
AppScript, I don't know the
If
AppScript, but
app
I
script
surely know pivot table and certain things.
pivot table, suppose you wouldn't know, and a guy comes and tells you, इसमें तो 10 घंटे लगेंगे सर, या 3 दिन लगेंगे. If
Yeah.
you don't know, you अच्छा ठीक है, कर ले, अब क्या ही कर सकते हैं.
Yes.
But you know because you have done it.
Right.
So what you say? 1 घंटे से ज्यादा, 10 मिनट का काम है. You would say this only, right?
Yes.
So, so a CA saying a GST return of only X amount or 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs will take 7 days, 8 days. You say, नहीं भाई, 20 मिनट का काम है, हो जाएगा. You can't charge me that much. So
Yes.
how do you do that? You go on YouTube, you search and you learn. You
Great.
do that by watching a 5 hour video on Google Sheets and you learn whole sheets yourself.
Great.
Right, right.
So it's basically that while leading, you are developing yourself on a daily continuous learning mode. And that is really helping you to lead effectively, save time of your organization, save resources, right? Great. Great insights. One very personal question I would ask that can you share an instance where a student feedback, a exam pattern change, or a industry focus changing forced any of these organizations like Budding Marinas, Iconic, or Budding Medicos to rapidly adapt its strategy or offerings?
Oh, that happens 5 times a year or 4 times a year. So we always, the exam pattern always changes, and we need to do something very different from what we were doing earlier. But that is in our habit now. We adapt very quickly. We make things happen. We stay overnight and do it. That's it.
Great, great.
Nothing extraordinary about it.
So just keep doing attitude every time. Yeah.
Yep.
Next question, Ojas, for you is that now I see that EdTech in India is evolving with a few companies again and few giants again entering into the market, few giants who have stepped out of the market. I see some of the organizations have become sustainable, and most of those organizations have not tapped those markets which you have identified and tapped. How do you feel about that one time that those people will also focus on the industries that you have tapped into? And do you feel a threat of these big cash rich organizations?
100%. I would be foolish if I say no. Like, but we know that what will they be offering is good teachers. What they will be offering is good knowledge for students, but what they will not have is 5 years of experience in this own organization,
Okay,
of spreading knowledge, of running circles around maritime colleges and having connections with 15 plus colleges.
great,
So what they won't have is one-on-one connection like we have. If they acquire us, then they can have it. But if they don't, and as long as we run as an individual organization, I don't think how they would be competing with an organization like Budding in a merchant navy sector or an organization like Iconic.
great, great. So, where do you envision budding group of companies in the next 5 to 10 years as a coaching and a learning institute, a full stack maritime talent platform, or something broader? Now, when you have become already broad, how do you envision these organizations to?
It's very honestly, I only plan for 1 year or 2 year max
Okay.
because I ex I over exceed my expectations a lot of times. So that is why I don't expect a lot. I plan only for 1 year or 2 year at max, because that's when I do things and I micromanage those things, and I do it at 1 day at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 day at a time.
Hmm.
And that's how I do it better. But yeah, not into a proper maritime sector or anything. It will be running, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, would love to diversify into. We have already diversified into 11 different things.
Okay,
Would love to do it in 40, 50 different things by the next 2 to 3 years.
great, great. Specifically to your leadership, just now, what are the most important strategic and leadership lessons you personally have learned while founding these verticals and budding mariners in a highly regulated industry like education?
Right. I think at the end of the day, it's all about managing people under you and to not get angry a lot because at core, I'm a very angry person.
Mm.
So control your anger for me is the biggest thing that I've learned from
Great,
year one to year fifth. I think what I was on year one and what I am at year five is a very subdued version of what
uh,
what I feel when a person comes with a mistake. But what I've learned is a lot of skills because at year one, this guy didn't knew how to open Canva, Excel, or how to code anything. But at year five, I can teach those things to all of the people under me.
great.
Anyone who comes for a YouTube manager gig, who is an intern, suppose who is working from home, they know a lot of shit. They know a lot of things. They are even better than anyone who is running an edtech page at 15 LPA, 20 LPA. Then the boys we have who are interns working from home. So I
Great.
think teaching those things to the young and using young people to get work done is our biggest advantage, and that which I've learned across 2 to 3 years.
Great. Great. So, the next question is around stakeholder management. Every business has a lot of stakeholders, not only in terms of ownership and shareholder, but in terms of client as well. So, who you consider are the most critical stakeholders today? Students, their parents, your faculty, the shipping companies, regulators, and to mention iconic and budding medicos, the government medical colleges. Who are the major stakeholders and how do you manage conflicting expectations among them?
Students, hands down. Nobody comes close because
Great.
these exams aren't going to go anywhere. And the demands and supplies is only going to go up and down. But students, they need to prepare. They need to do well.
Yeah.
The better you do your operations, the better you put your results forward, the more people put your trust in, right? It's all about trust at the end of the day.
Yes.
The word gets around. If you do bad job, they will let you know. The students are very frank, and that's why they trust us because they will rather tell it to a 23-year-old founder than a 45-year-old founder because they
Yeah.
are scared of them. We are like bigger brothers to them. They tell us everything कि
Yes.
सर नहीं मजा आ रहा, बहुत बेकार क्लास थी, सर बुक्स नहीं आ रही, लेट हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, स्मॉल स्मॉल इश्यूज. दे डोंट फील कि मैं तो बर्डिंग ग्रुप के चेयरमैन या सीईओ से बात कर रहा हूँ. नहीं, दे डोंट फील लाइक दैट. दे सीधा they directly DM on WhatsApp to them. My number, I have 11,000 contacts. To every student who has ever contacted me, I save their number. So I think that is the biggest USP that we have. We are very, 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 very 99% student oriented business.
Great.
Uh,
Great. And that then those small feedbacks, those small complaints which
And
you are
what
catering
is
daily. Uh,
R&D is directly what students tell us. We don't need to use our mind.
Great. So every small gap, every small complaint, feedback, fix it right away, fill that gap, and be the best. Great. Talking about the culture and leadership. Leadership, I've taken down so many points from you just personally. And now when budding is growing at such a adorable pace, how do you describe the internal culture at Budding Marinas, where you have personally managed yourself to be more perseverance driven, patient driven, to now the internal culture at Budding Marinas? How do you describe your team?
You want to talk about culture? I think it's 6:30 in the evening.
Yes,
Okay. And this is the office that I'm sitting in currently. 5:30 the office gets over. And this is my office.
yes.
And
Everyone is young and alive.
it stays the same at 8 o'clock. They go and I don't appreciate it. मैं बोलता हूँ तुम जाओ घर क्या कर रहे हो? But they love the work. They honestly do. They're not scared of me, and that's not the way they do it. ये लोग चेंज करके आते हैं, दे आर इन देयर शॉर्ट्स एंड दे आर डूइंग देयर वर्क टिल 9 o'clock, दे आर अपलोडिंग देयर यूट्यूब वीडियो, दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर देयर यूट्यूब लाइव टुमारो, दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग नोट्स, दे आर डूइंग वॉट एवर दे वॉन्ट because they love the work. That's why they do it, only because of that. It's not because they're getting paid so much or why. Of course, they're getting paid the best that they would be anywhere,
Hmm.
but it's also about that they absolutely adore and love the work that they do.
One more insight from my classroom that I'm able to actually feel at a workplace is just that you are hiring for a right attitude mindset rather than the right skill, because I believe that skill can be transferred, but the right attitude, if someone is bringing, your half of the job is done.
हाँ, क्योंकि मैंने खुद ने सीखा है ना,
Great.
ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या ही सीखा होगा, चैट जीपीटी, एक्सेल,
Yes.
और these all are learnable skills.
Great.
At the end of the day, if they have good communication skills, if they want to learn, they can do anything. They can be a CEO of a company.
Yes.
We have already created 5 CEOs in last 1.5 year, and they are all boys who have 58 percentage or who are 62 percentage. It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is, are they willing to learn? Are they willing to teach? Are they willing to do what is required to make their organization propel? If the answer is yes, they beat anyone. They beat IITians. They beat anyone. I'm so sorry to say that they even beat anyone from any MBA college degrees because they have what's bigger than anything. Will to work and the skills to work hard. स्किल यार, स्किल बहुत तगड़ी चीज है, राइट? आपके कॉलेज में भी आपको गूगल शीट के बारे में बताते होंगे कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है,
Yes. Yes.
राइट? These boys are learning it at 17, 18, 19 का age. So suppose at the age of 24, if they keep practicing it for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
क्या तगड़ा लेवल का कॉन्फिडेंस उनमें हो जाएगा, राइट?
Great, great, really, really, hands down, and I completely agree to the point, Ojas. And as you told that you have already made 4 5 CEOs. Now, to any advice to aspiring founders, like what strategic advice would you give to students who want to build some startups in education or in any other sector, and how would they take it forward in today's modern India?
Learn skills yourself, do it yourself, and do it cheap.
Yes,
That's it.
do not
And do it the
overspend.
best way. I think fourth point is the most important. If you are putting a video on SIP, if you are putting a video on how to score 90 on 19 boards, at the end of the day, is your brain saying it's the best goddamn video on YouTube? Is it beating Alak Pandey? Is it beating Aman Dhattarwal? If it is not on that level, you have to go back to the drawing board, figure it out, and make it better.
Great, great, great. There were a lot of insights from this session, Ojas. We hardly preach perseverance. Be the best in what you are doing. Thrive